Welcome to Weed Glob Show. I am your host, Jared, or Weed, or Glob, whatever you want to call me. How's it going? Today, it's a special episode. I'm going to be chatting and talking about an overarching topic, but we're going to use a specific person to really drive home the problems with the system right now. We're going to talk about the DNC and how bad they are, and they just want to they want to just smother leftists. You know, that's what we're here to talk about. Let's do it. Wow. It's been a bit. It's great to see y'all. So I want to start by saying this person. I do not want any like hate or whatever. Just block them. That's all I really ask. Like that's what we need to do right now. Okay. So first, let's talk about the DNC. Oh God, get out of here. Sorry about that. Yeah, we're going to talk about the DNC. That scary thing. Go away. They have been ruining this country forever. And I know what you want to say. You want to be like, but the Republicans, sure, the Republicans are doing disgusting shit, but they're at least so dumb that they just do it and they tell you what they're going to do. That's great. The DNC is a sneaky, shifty thing. And we can look back to 2016, Bernie Sanders going for the election, having all the momentum in the world. Crowds are going to him, much like they're going to Trump. You know what I mean? Crowds are flocking to this man, and polls are saying that if Bernie Sanders goes against Donald Trump, Bernie Sanders will prevail. That is the agenda. The DNC take him and they shut him down. They steal the election from him and they put in Hillary Clinton, who everyone hates. Hillary Clinton was in all of the polls said to lose, and she did in basically the exact same manner that the polls said she was going to lose, right? Time goes by, we go to the next election, 2020. Bernie Sanders is still there. This time the DNC, to trick you, puts out 4 to 5 Bernie Sanders copycats, right? We get a little further on, and then they slide in Joe Biden at the very end and say he's the guy that has to fight Trump. We have to get Trump out of here. It's going to all fail if we don't get Trump out of here. So we do it. And then for the next 4 years, we were sleeping gassed by sleepy Joe Biden, and we went to hell. You know what I mean? Our system crumbled. No one was at the reins to stop anything. A genocide occurs, and we start funding it. And that's kind of where it comes into. He loses the next election because of the terrible, horrible agenda of the DNC and how they ran that campaign. They didn't even give us an open election to choose a candidate we wanted. They pushed Joe Biden as long as they could until they could slip in Kamala and say, fuck off. This is the person you have. You know what I mean? And so a lot of people were upset, and some people, out of principle over the genocide being occurred and the money being shuckled away for war, chose not to vote for him or her. And now you have, all of a sudden, the Biden administration, Kamala Harris, gets signed by CAA, and a flood of new social media accounts are created to try to propagandate you, to make you think that like that administration was good, and basically it's the leftist fault that you have Trump. And not just how bad of a company and group the DNC are, and they ran one of the worst campaigns of all times. No, it's my fault for wanting socialism and no war and health care for all. You know what I mean? I'm the piece of shit, right? So I would like you to meet Marie, who is one of these talking heads and the apple of our video. Here she is talking about, some last-ditch effort from the Joe Biden campaign at the last 2 days of his life cycle as president, trying to make himself look good. Here's the clip.
Biden and Harris literally got a ceasefire deal in January. And I feel so fucking stupid for even engaging in this stupid fucking obvious propaganda conversation. I'm ashamed, right? Because how the fuck did I engage in all of this and never once fucking remember that they got a fucking ceasefire? Now, did the ceasefire last? No. Was Is violating it the entire time? Yes. It didn't end the Geno. It didn't end the apartheid state. It was never going to. But a ceasefire did fucking happen.
We can clearly see a lame duck president doing a last-ditch effort to try to make his legacy somewhat good, even though it is one of the worst of all times, you know? But you're going to use that as a way to show me that people who couldn't stomach either Kamala or Trump fucked it all up, and basically the genocide is their fault now because they couldn't stomach it. When, you know, everything points to the fact that it wouldn't have stopped and probably been worse under the Democratic Party, because a lot of Democrats are an AIPAC. A lot of Kamala's an AIPAC person. She is funded by them, by Israel, and so they would still give the money to fund the war. You know what I mean? But we have a little baby boy who's president right now, and while you might not like him, you can very understand where he's coming from, which is a very selfish mentality. One of his party members was speaking to Israel under the table. He didn't like that. Now Israel's not on the good team. You know what I mean? And like that kind of move couldn't have happened under the Kamala administration, where I can see something good happening. And I'm not going to say that it's not helpful for the people of Palestine that we now no longer like Israel the way we did, or hopefully cracks are showing that this group thinks they control the United States of America. Right? But that's not what this person is. That's not what their agenda is. Their agenda is only to hurt leftist ideals, you know? And this is my case in point. Also, this person literally just uses Wikipedia pages to prove points, which is like insane to me. Like there's no real journalistic integrity going on with them. They're like, look, this one page says Israel was the one who told you that Joe Biden didn't get a ceasefire. He didn't. There's no real ceasefire that happened. Ceasefire on paper is not a real ceasefire. That was words that they signed, and then they were like, great, now he's gone. We have a new president. None of that matters. You know what I mean? Ignorance if you think that that was a real thing, right? Because we actually did get a ceasefire under Trump. Ooh, rough. I know, right? And we got to see the Palestinian people who were under hostage get freed as well, which we found out that there was a 1 to 100 comparison, where one Israeli person was worth the lives of 100 Palestinian people, which I think showed us for the first time how they see themselves and how they see the Palestinians, right? Pretty cool. So we got to see that under Trump. And then it stopped again because Netanyahu just wants to kill everything and lies to us all. But Joe Biden didn't care about that. He actually claimed he was a Zionist. So I don't understand your opinion whatsoever. It's not living in any real life. So here's my next clip for you. This is her talking about the Hassan Piker and Ethan Klein debate that happened between the two of them, and you'll never guess her opinion. You just won't.
I just finished the content nuke, and my thoughts are fresh. But before I get into it, I just want to say both Ethan and Hassan are terrible. They're terrible. They have poisoned political discourse online with their gigantic fucking platforms that they built over the past decade. And the problematic way that they talk about politics is a direct indication of their politics, which makes them problematic. And their influence has done so much damage in the way that we converse online, our most important mass communication tool. Everything they talk about is incredibly important and complex.
Right? You know what I mean? So looking at that, we can clearly see that she says that they're both disgusting and they ruin debate and just political culture and esteemity. But if you were to actually watch that debate, you would see it's incredibly one-sided on someone that's trying to prove that what Israel is doing is genocide and wrong. And then on the other side, you have Ethan, who is just trying to make Hassan look bad and say really inappropriate things to him the whole time, right? It's a very one-sided debate, but like only one person looks bad, but she's stating they're both disgusting, where it's like, okay, so your agenda is to just bash on the left. You're not actually here for the Palestinian people. You don't actually care about a real ceasefire. You don't actually care about stopping genocide, stopping apartheid, not funding this war with American taxpayer dollars. You don't actually care about that. You care about the DNC agenda, which is to make leftists look like shit. Insane to me, right? Insane. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, Glob, they're just a TikToker. They're just saying shit on TikTok. You know what I mean? It's their opinion. They're okay. They're fine to have it. Sure. I blocked them, and then this popped up from some other creator who saw this, which is them talking about their goals in life.
Uni, I'm not an activist. I'm a content creator who does political commentary to build their platform with the hope of breaking into more traditional avenues of entertainment. And honestly, I'm surprised at Maya's unprofessionalism, since we all know she's a full-time actor.
So, as I say on here, actually all the time.
Right, so the context in this conversation is there is a leftist person who is themselves an actor, and that is their career, is that they are an actor. And then in their personal life, they have opinions on, let's say, Gaza. And those opinions are their own opinions, but they're an actor and they're using their voice to talk, which is not the same as this lady.
Leftists want to free all these other countries, but they can't even free their own. Like, no one's shouting free America. No one's shouting free America except for the right, and they're the ones that are making America so not fucking free. And then the leftists are like, let America burn, and what the fuck do the rest of us do?
This lady, who is a propagandist used by the DNC to say whatever, which makes them just an actor in the moment and not a real person, right? So they're saying, well, we both want to be actors. No, one is an actor already who's using their voice to talk about what they want to, and the other is you, somebody who wants to be an actor and has sold their soul, values, and morality just to hopefully one day maybe get it famous and be like a CNN talking head. I mean, you probably want nothing to do with politics at the end of the day. You just know this is a good way to get in. And I get it. But that's why we all need to block you and anyone like you, because you're a psyop. You're a governmental fixture to come in and disrupt an actual revolution from happening. Because you don't want change. You want to keep the status quo. You think everything is fine the way it is. I mean, even this shit you're saying that, like, we don't care about America. No, we care more about America than you do. I don't want to have my taxpayer money go to war, go to genocide. I want it to be funded here for school system and housing. I have actual ideas on how to help the country we're in. You have none of that. You are only spitting venom upon people who want real change. And I'm not about to stand for that. So this person sucks. And that's it. That's basically, like, I don't like to usually end my things with such a statement like that, but, like, it's bad. Bad energy. Nancy Pelosi bad. You know, go away. And that's it. That's this episode of We Glob Show. Thank you so much for hanging out. Please block her. You don't need to make fun of her, talk shit. Just block them. Shut them down. Don't let them talk. Because that kind of person is willing to do and say anything for their own personal gain. They don't care about the goals of the collective. They only want fame. And you see it with this person. They're so willing to say all this bullshit, and they're not even realizing that they're just putting people in graves themselves. This is the We Glob Show. I'm Jared. We Glob, whatever. I'll talk to you soon. Don't forget to lip and subscribe. And I'll chat you in the comments or whatever. All right?